Good afternoon, Denver Rotary. My name is Mike Befefler, and I will be speaking about the secret of growing older gracefully. And the subtitle is Aging and Other Minor Inconveniences. First of all, let's have a show of hands. How many of you are getting older every day? Okay, I didn't see all the hands go up. Maybe some of you are like me when I tell friends, I'm not getting older, I'm getting better, right? But the truth is, I learn more about aging every day. And here's a statistic for you. Approximately 100% of us over 65 are older than our children. Good, you're listening. But it doesn't mean that we have to act older than our children. So, what gives me the right to get up here and spout off about aging? Well, I'm a fiction writer. I make up stories. And the types of stories I make up are called geezer-lit mysteries. Geezer-lit mysteries are about POWs, not prisoners of war, but older people, persons of wisdom. So young women have their chick lit, and we older people have our geezer lit. But I use the term geezer in an affectionate, not derogatory fashion, because I am a geezer in training. So let me tell you about some interesting geezers I've heard about. 83-year-old Brock Lynch is in a singing group called Young at Heart. They performed in Boulder and Denver at the end of last year. Anyone here see them perform? Okay, several of you. The group is made up of people between 71 and 89 years old, and they sing rock, hip-hop, and popular songs. 84-year-old Dr. Roger Unger is still making significant contributions to diabetes research. Up in Boulder, where I live, there's a great group of geezerettes called the Golden West Girls from the Golden West Retirement Community. At University of Colorado basketball games, they get up during halftime and dance. 89-year-old David Barron saved a 3-year-old girl from falling 20 feet off of a balcony in a shopping mall. And 94-year-old Jim Hammond is a senior Olympic sprinter. At 95, Ernest B. Clark of Longmont published a book. At 100, he was writing another one. Also at 95, Stanley Peluche was informed that because of his age, he could ice skate for free at his local ice arena. So he took up ice skating. At 100, he was riding a stationary bike, swimming, doing Tai Chi, and still ice skating. Who here has heard of the British rock group called the Zimmers? Anyone? In 2007, the Zimmers debuted at number 23 on the British rock charts. Their lead singer at the time, Alf Coretta, was 90 years old. One of the members of the group, Winifred Warburton, was 99. The average age of the group was 79 years old. Now in 2008, they added a new member, Buster Martin. Now Buster was quite a guy. At that time, he was still working for Pimlico Plumbing in London. 2 years earlier, he'd been attacked by 2 young thugs. He fought them off, kicking one of them in the groin. And in April of 2008, Buster completed the London Marathon, claiming to be the oldest person to ever finish a marathon at 101 years old. But there's a little debate about Buster's age. At that time, he may only have been 94. But my favorite is a geezerette. 102-year-old Elsie McLean was out playing golf and shot a hole-in-one. So how many golfers in the room? Okay, a lot of you. How many of you shot holes in one? Okay, fair number. The rest of you, there's still hope. So clearly there are upsides and downsides to the aging process. On the downside, we may need additional medical assistance. We move slower, we forget things, we repeat ourselves, and we may need to take naps. But I'm a big fan of naps. In fact, I'm writing a geezer-lit thriller, and the subtitle is Saving the World Between Naps. Now, on the upside, we have a lot more life experience than the young whippersnappers. We become these POWs, persons of wisdom. Now, I had an opportunity at the end of 2008 to hear Dr. Gene Cohen speak in Longmont. And Dr. Cohen is an expert on aging and creativity. And one of the things he said in his talk that really struck me was, in the United States, the vast majority of folk artists began their careers after the age of 60. And in Dr. Cohen's book, The Creative Age, he describes 4 stages we go through as we get older. The first is called a midlife revelation. This is kind of like a positive midlife crisis. It's an aha moment. Second is liberation, often associated with retiring. Third is summing up, which is putting all the pieces together. And the fourth is an encore stage, which is like a last hurrah. So I'd like to share with you my experience with the first 2 of Dr. Cohen's 4 stages as it relates to my writing. My midlife revelation occurred in 2001 when I was 56 years old. I was sitting in my living room and I was thinking back over things I had really enjoyed doing over my lifetime. It included building model airplanes when I was a kid. How many here built model airplanes? Okay, good number of people. Other things were writing and painting. And the common denominator was they were all creative. Then I started thinking ahead to what I wanted to do when I retired, because I wanted to retire into something, not just away from my day job. So it was that evening I made the decision to pursue fiction writing. As a result of that, I negotiated with my boss to work 3 days a week so I could spend 2 days jump-starting my writing. And I had learned that if you're 55 or older, you can take any course at the University of Colorado for free with the instructor's permission. So for 2 semesters, I took fiction writing courses as a way of jump-starting my writing. Now, at the outset, I set for myself 3 goals. Number 1, I wanted to write for myself. Number 2, I wanted to write for my family. And number 3, I wanted to get published. I immediately achieved goal 1 by writing short stories in the course I took at CU. Then the first Christmas after I started writing, I gave my wife and kids a collection of short stories. Then I set about goal 3 of getting published. And what I did is I sent short stories off to magazines and anthologies. And I'm happy to report that on my 112th submittal, I sold a story called Never Trust a Poison Dart Frog to a publication titled Who Died in Here?, which was a collection of short stories that had either a death or a murder taking place in the bathroom. Then I bridged into novel-length material, and in 2005, I submitted a manuscript to a contest at the Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers Conference in Denver. About 2 months before the conference started, I got a packet in the mail, had a nice cover letter explaining I had not placed in the top 3 in the mystery genre category, but it had a lot of suggestions on how I could improve my novel. So I set about madly rewriting it, and by the time of the conference, I had something that I had a lot of confidence in. And at that conference, I pitched the idea of my novel to 2 agents and 2 editors. And one of the editors, Denny Dietz of 5 Star, liked the concept and told me to email in the manuscript. So I went home, went through one more editing pass, emailed it off, crossed my fingers, and 2 months later, I got an email back with a contract offer. And in January of 2007, my first novel, Retirement Homes Are Murder, was published.